For the first Nostalgia Test Now episode, Dan and Manny put Lightyear to the ultimate test. To infinity and beyond. Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Yes, Dan. Here we go. Guys,
welcome everybody.
We're back, and this one's different. This one's way different. We're introducing a new segment called Nostalgia Test Now.
Yo.
Which means Dan and I kind of go into what's happening now. Obviously, that's why there's now in it.
Got it.
And I guess we're predicting that we think something's going to be nostalgic in the future.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
right.
We and others are going to be looking back at this moment, thinking, "Oh, remember in the 2021 when everybody was blah 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 blah." So.
Yeah, because this podcast is going to last forever. So 10 years from now, or 11 when this comes out, because this movie, Lightyear with Chris Hemsworth is going to be coming out in 2022.
Is it Chris Hemsworth or Chris Evans?
Oh, wait, Chris Evans? Is it Chris Evans?
Chris Evans.
Oh, Chris Evans. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Smeal.
Man, it's just so many Chris's and
so
Evans
many Chris's.
and Hemsworths.
Superheroes and all that. Yeah.
So we'll 11 years from now or so, we'll put this to the test because the podcast is going to be super successful. We're going to be worldwide. We're going to be traveling all over the place, doing amphitheaters all over the place.
We're going to put ourselves to the test.
Yeah, we're going to put ourselves
at that
to the
point.
test. Yeah, at that point. It's like, do we pass
Podcasting in the future is not going to even have a mic, so we're going to be like, do mics pass the test?
Does Zoom pass the test?
We'll be just talking, and our mic will be attached to our skulls, so we might not even talk by then.
No, who knows?
We'll just telepathically do this, live.
We'll do it in space. Anyway, people, so what we're going to do is...
That was a tangent.
And that's a Nostalgia Test tangent.
What we're going to do is we're going to watch the trailer to the movie Lightyear, and then we're going to talk about it, react to it, and just go and make a prediction for the future. Will Lightyear with Chris Evans pass the Nostalgia Test? So Manny, are you ready?
I'm excited. Have you watched it?
Yes, I have watched it. I don't know why I watched it actually. Oh, I know why. I watched the Rocky IV one.
Yes.
Rocky versus Drago.
Rocky versus Drago. Oh man, we're not getting into that. Are we doing a special episode for that? I think we should.
We have
because
to.
I'm going to see it live.
Oh God, amazing.
Holy nostalgia.
We have to. I mean, how can we not? If we didn't,
I think I'm going to react to it on Instagram Live, walking out of the theater on our channel.
Dude,
on our channel.
I want to see the journey of you going to the theater.
I'm going to record it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm going to record it on our channel. I'm just going to record it. I'm going with my uncle. We got tickets. We had to go to Queens for it because everything else was sold out on Long Island. So
of course.
I'm not even sure what the mask mandate is there, but I don't care. I don't care what I have to do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to see this in theater, and I might cry.
Bro hugs.
Dude, I cry. Okay, well, this isn't a Rocky episode, but I was going to say,
I forgot.
I basically cried almost when I watched that trailer. I was like, oh my God.
Bro hugs.
Yeah, I can't wait. And we might have to do a quick I might have to chime you in somehow. I don't even know.
I don't know. I got to see how I'm going to see it. We definitely have to dedicate.
Oh yeah, because you could see it the next day. It'll be available digitally.
That's right.
And then we could do maybe a
full episode,
an emergency episode.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah.
And maybe invite some other
guests.
lovers of Rocky and Drago.
Dude, our whole podcast has just turned into a Rocky podcast since the Rocky episodes. God damn it.
I know. No!
Smeal.
All right, so
here we go. So we're Lightyear with Chris Evans.
Yes. All right.
Okay, there was a shot there that was like Dagobah from like Star Wars when he was in the swamp. I'm like, that's like,
dude, it
like
reminded
Dagobah.
me of Star Wars. A lot of it, even the ship. It looks like an X-wing.
Yeah, it does.
So, well, I mean, Disney and Star Wars, they're all like, right?
No,
they bought the rights to it.
They own all of it.
They own it. So I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of like shout outs to that.
Mhm.
First of all, you can't talk about Lightyear without talking about the OG movie that this is a spin-off of, or a continuation of the franchise, but in a different way, a way different way, a way that nobody probably ever imagined.
Yeah.
Except for the Imagineers from Disney, because they're amazing. I love I love Toy Story, dude.
You had a whole conversation with me on over text, like immediately, like you're not taking Toy Story from me. It was literally like a threat. Like you're not taking this from me.
You're not. I've been wanting to do Toy Story for one of our tests.
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't have to watch it. I know it would pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about 2, 3. Like maybe some would stay nostalgic, but I watched 4 and I was crying as a grown man thinking about all my past history of watching all those films.
Mm.
And then like talking to my niece about it, she was even upset at the end of 4 because she grew up with 2 and 3. You know, like she was even younger, was that old. So it was just fun to see that. And the fact that these movies span different generations and connect. There's jokes for everyone.
Yeah.
And to me, that's brilliant writing.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I've only seen Toy Story 1. I don't know what happened, why I never saw 2, 3, or 4. It's not like I don't want to see them. I think it's just, I guess, never got around to them. But Toy Story 1, I loved that movie. And I'm sure if we did it, we'd have a fun time talking about it and everything. There are weird things. I even read this really cool article once about the kid that is shown to be evil, who like, you know, does those things to his toys, like changes them and morphs them into hybrid toys.
Sid.
Yeah, and it was like this whole discussion on how like Sid is actually really creative, and like the idea is like you're not allowed to change the toys, but he breaks the rules because he's got this mind who, like, you know, whatever, he shouldn't be seen as like an evil person for changing his toys and blah blah blah.
Yes, it's very the psychological. Like, there's a lot behind everything that they chose, and like Sid is in the other movies. And he's actually a protector of toys.
Oh.
He becomes a garbage man who picks up lost toys.
Wow.
And he like saves them. So that's like a whole thing. Like, and they say, well, maybe it's because the toys scared him, so he became protector and stuff. But like you're saying, like maybe he was a little bit more creative. So,
but it's such an interesting world when I first saw Toy Story, but I never thought that they would do a movie that in many ways has nothing to do with, like, because Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story is a toy.
Yes. So what this is supposed to be is this is the story of the astronaut that the Buzz Lightyear toys were based on.
But how is that possible? It looks like the future. He like when he goes up into space, to me this looks like the future, but like it's
I understand
not. You know what I mean? Like,
but how do you know that? Like, we don't know when Toy Story exists in the world in time.
No. This is the best episode of this podcast.
Do you know what I'm
at
saying?
This point, because we're talking about a multiverse that happens.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying if Toy Story came out, I don't know what year it came out, but it could possibly be like year 3000. We don't know.
We don't know.
We
don't know that. We don't know that astronauts are not doing other things. Or is this just is this the show that Buzz Lightyear's toy was based on? So it's just a fake science fiction show that toy was based on. Like, I'm so interested. I'm interested in seeing how they're going, because they're going to have references, right?
They have.
You saw like the karate move, like the way he like, that was a Buzz Lightyear move, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm interested, and like Buzz had an evil villain, Buzz Lightyear.
Yes, he did.
Right. So like, the question is like what I was saying, like, are we just watching the show or the Star Wars of that world? Right?
Yeah.
So like if I'm Andy and I'm sitting in the movie theater, I am now watching Lightyear, which Lightyear is the science fiction movie that came out in that world.
Which then the toy is based on.
And that toy's based on it. Or we're just seeing the future.
That's because the way I see this trailer is that they're telling me that this is the future and this is happening. Like this is its own story. Like we're looking like an origin story like Batman. And I'm entering into a Batman like world where all this is real, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like unless we see like if the beginning of Lightyear is like Andy or the kid, right? Like Andy going to the movie with his mom and dad or his mom, and then they sit down and then they zoom into the screen of Lightyear and then we watch that movie. Then I'm like, oh, this is the movie that then made that toy in 1995. But
yeah, or maybe they don't explain that at all and we're already in the movie. So we are meta. We are like a meta of meta. Like it's a crazy thought. Like we're in it. Like
yeah.
I'm okay being Andy's friend right now, going to the movies, watching Lightyear.
Right.
That's what I'm accepting that because I grew up with a toy called Buzz Lightyear, and now they're making the show or movie of Buzz Lightyear.
Now, okay, so that can make sense because like nowadays people do make movies from rides, from video games, and from everything else, right? Like they come before the actual movie, like the Jungle Boat movie with like The Rock and Emily Blunt, right?
Yes.
I think that's a ride. Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride before it was a movie. There's a really bad movie that they did on the podcast How Does This Get Made called In the Name of the King, which was a video game first, and then they made it into a movie. Or Street Fighter was a game, then it was a movie.
Mortal
Kombat, right? So that's happened before.
Sure.
I guess this looks so seamless that I'm just like, wow. Like I'm actually amazed at the way the storyline seems to be kind of created in this like way of like Top Gun / Iron Eagle.
Yeah,
space.
but then there's like he's being projected away from the sun. He's going to these other worlds. Obviously,
yeah.
He seems like also the guy who gets like he's like the slapstick comedy guy. He's like he's getting like tangled up, and he's like he's funny, but then he's so good that these special people give like. Only special astronauts get this suit, and the suit flies.
Yes.
And that's awesome. I can't wait until he puts that on. And you notice that there's another astronaut, another Lightyear.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, who's that?
It's another Lightyear. I think Lightyear is I want to say, and this is all projection, obviously, that Lightyear is like saying Top Gun. Like, if you're a Lightyear, you get to wear that suit. So astronauts that have passed certain tests, that have done certain things, they earn the right to be considered Lightyear.
And so their first name is like an in Lightyear. So like you would be Manny Lightyear.
Oh, I would love that.
I think we have your next Halloween costume.
Oh, I already thought about getting an inflatable one of the Buzz Lightyear one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
I love the visual of it.
Holy shit.
I love the spaceship is back. I love how the opening scene reminded me of Contact.
Oh God,
Contact?
that movie was so stupid.
It was crazy. But with Matthew McConaughey and what's her name? She's from
Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole movie you leading up to being like, all right, now she's going to go to this place, and then it ends, right?
No, she goes and like they don't believe her, but she was there for like an hour and a half and something like that, but they only saw it for a split second. It was a whole thing, and that there was a second spaceship because it was kind of like the version of like the person who was building the other second station is like Elon Musk of that movie. Like they were just like an extrovert. Introverted dude that was whatever.
You need to do the Abyss.
Getting off on a thing. Yes, the Abyss. But
And that's a nostalgia test tangent.
I love Pixar itself.
Yeah, it looks great.
They always make humans not so human-like, which is understandable because they still are an animated character. And I love how they make everything else real. Like the spaceship looks like sick. Everything looks great, and I'm down with it. Now the question is, are they going to put the toy in there? Are they going to fit it in? I think they will. I think Buzz does something so great that they're mentioning a toy, unless they're not tying that multiverse together, and it is literally just a movie based on a toy.
Now, if I know Disney, which I don't, but I think they're just going to try to like make this its own storyline. I think we're going to see like 4 of these at the least. Because like you're creating already, they're already going to put, what are they coming out with Boba Fett series now? Where it's just Boba Fett, right? So like, I feel like Disney's just like, all right, Lightyear. Everyone understands who Buzz Lightyear is. Well, what if we just made a whole story around just him? It has nothing to do with anything that has to do with Toy Story other than we have this character and we're going to build something around it. And I think people are just going to accept that, and that's fine, right? Like, because it looks great. I mean, they get you already with the David Bowie song Starman. I mean, we looked at each other as soon as that started. I was like, yeah, they know, like they got you. And I think to me, you just accept the fact that like, all right, now we're just taking this toy and this idea from this movie and then we're building another world around it. And like,
I would love that they do that. Like, I think they will put in something that ties Toy Story to it.
I think those aliens, you're going to see those little green aliens.
Yeah, but it won't be, I hope it's subtle. I hope it is a separate thing. I hope this is its own spin-off of that franchise, and now it's time to do that. And then the question is, if it goes that well, do they do a Woody?
No.
They don't do a Western?
I don't
think so?
I think
I love Woody.
I like Woody too, but like, these are all drops. I don't think that like...
I like Woody too. Oh, do you, Dan?
I don't think that
Woody could be a little annoying.
Yeah, I don't think a Woody movie, anyone cares about a Woody movie.
I don't know about that. Well, Toy Story 4 was basically a Woody movie. But I don't know if I'd want like a Woody sheriff movie.
I think Lightyear's
better.
It wouldn't have the same like depth. I think with Lightyear, you can actually get some more emotional depth. I think
there's a lot more characters you could introduce.
Yeah, like I think at this point we're so far past the Western, I don't think anyone cares. I don't think you can make a real successful Western. I mean,
in a Pixar film,
maybe, but
no. You know why too? How do you make a clean PG Western?
There's a lot of problems. I don't know.
You know, how do you not do the quick draw? How do you can't introduce that?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You can't. You can't. But Disney kills things. Disney kills characters. I mean, Lion King was one of the most traumatic death scenes I've ever seen in a Disney film.
Yeah, that's true.
When Simba's father dies, and then Simba walks over to him and keeps nudging him, like, we gotta go. I was like, I'm God. Like, why? I'm thinking of it now, and I'm like, no. I don't. Oh my God! And then they Hakuna Matata themselves back into happiness.
Hey, let's not forget that your dad just got trampled
to death. Like, not only he fell off a cliff, he was thrown off a cliff by his own brother.
Bro, we were watching Hamlet. That's what we watched.
Yeah.
We watched Hamlet as a child.
Yeah. I mean,
what they did.
That's traumatic. Bambi's mom gets shot. No. I mean, there's so I don't think Disney cares about killing characters.
Okay.
I think they would do it in a way that it was just like a Disney way, but then that's it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like one of these characters in Lightyear explodes. No!
Yeah, I think they're going to do a lot of I think aliens will die.
Yeah.
Not humans.
Yeah.
And Buzz is going to be like a comic relief.
Right. Like, I mean, did you see Soul when it came out? Did you watch Soul?
Yes.
It was great. And that movie's
You
all
liked
about
it?
death. Oh, I loved it. I thought it was crazy. They made all these weird characters. I loved it.
I thought they could have gone further. I thought they could have gone deeper. I thought it was rushed.
Like, I liked Soul. I liked Coco. When Coco was out, I saw that.
Oh, I
like
liked Coco. I thought Coco was great.
But they love to make these worlds.
Do you have Luca? Do you like Luca?
I didn't see that one.
Luca was pretty good. I'm really excited about this one. Today's episode of the Nostalgia Test podcast is brought to you by Lithology Brewing, located at 211A Main Street in Farmingdale, New York. Please go to www.lithologybrewing.com for more information. That's LITHOLOGY brewing.com. There's a controversy?
Because, I guess the controversy is like, because Tim Allen isn't voicing it. That was something that people.
Yeah, but Tim Allen's the toy.
Plus, who cares about Tim Allen?
Wait a minute. People were actually bugging out that Tim Allen is not the actual. Like, think about that. Like, the voice of Buzz Lightyear toy is Tim Allen. We're not talking about the toy. We're talking about the real life character.
Exactly. And I think people don't think of that. I think they're thinking like other reasons that we don't have to mention on this podcast. But I think like people are annoyed that Tim Allen isn't the voice. Some people.
I think that's ridiculous, and I totally was like, oh, okay. At first, I wanted to hear Tim Allen, and then I'm like, oh, this is not a movie about the toy Buzz Lightyear.
No.
This is a movie about Lightyear the astronaut.
This is a whole other storyline that has nothing to do with the toy.
Yeah, I don't think that they should care about that. Woody could be a little annoying. I think. Yeah. I mean, it'd be good to have like if they do mention like the toy and have Tim Allen voice that, but I don't think that's crazy.
I want to just. I'm hoping this for the movie, and then I guess we could put it to the Nostalgia Test now test.
Okay.
I'm hoping that there is no mention of a world outside the world that they create for this film. Like, I don't want to see Andy go into the movies to watch this. I don't want to see at the end, like, they're in a movie theater or whatever. I want this to be its own thing and to be like, no, we're making this really cool kind of storyline around the idea of what Buzz Lightyear was in Toy Story, and now what would happen if we created an entire film around that story, because the story is interesting. So let's do that. So that there's no hope that it's just that, and we're working with a whole other character, and it's still not. It's not Toy Story, because it's kind of like where like, oh my God, this is what happens when you do Rocky. Creed and Rocky. Now they're going into a whole other world, and now Stallone's not going to be in any more Creed movies or whatever, right? So like, I feel like you have your own world. I want this to be its own world. Creed, even though it's Stallone playing Rocky in it, it's still just about Creed. It's Creed,
Yes.
I want this to be Lightyear. I don't want it to have to do with any sort of toys. Yeah, I don't think a movie anyone cares about a movie.
Five balls?
It's five balls. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be a stronger film.
I agree. I think you might be right.
I'm hoping.
This is a good prediction one, Yeah. Hey, new rock stars. What do you think?
No! Mentos, the fresh maker.
So Eric Voss. I haven't seen him review it. Maybe I got to go and check it out. All right. So, is this... so Nostalgia Now... Basically, we sit here and we say, will it be nostalgic in the future?
Like, does it pass the nostalgia test in the future? Like, when it falls within our 10-year rule and we rewatch it, does it pass or not pass the nostalgia test?
I think it will.
Holy nostalgia.
This is going to kick off, I agree that this might kick off 4 movies.
Yeah, I don't think a movie anyone cares about a movie.
And if I know Disney, as much as you want to talk crap about Disney, which a lot of people do, there is a reason why Disney is a multi-billion company, and there's a reason why people go to Disney World. There's a reason why it's everywhere. There's a reason why the streaming services work. they know how to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to get you from every age group, and I think this is definitely passing a nostalgia test.
I think I agree with you. I mean, just off the trailer, I was like, I wish I could watch this now. I mean, at first I thought it was like, we're really doing a Lightyear movie? I'm like, God. Yeah, I don't think a movie, anyone cares about a movie. But then like watching it, it's just like, I'm interested. I'm curious. Where is this going? Like, how are they creating this? I think I'm very curious with like the story, how they're going to develop it. But it, like I said, like you said, knowing Disney and knowing how, especially these new Pixar films and all the things they've been doing now, the storytelling is just phenomenal. And looking at the world that they've created already with it, it seems amazing. So I'm thinking 10 years from now, putting it to the test, that I think that this will pass the nostalgia test.
Get fluxed up.
As a nostalgia test now prediction, I think it passes.
Yes, put it in the books, baby. Put it in the books.
Put it in the books. We'll be live at your town, in your city, putting this to test.
Everything involved the locks.
Putting this to the test, and we're going to go back and archive this episode.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, hope you enjoyed this new segment. Let us know. Would you like to hear more Nostalgia Test Now episodes? And if so, send us your Nostalgia Test Now ideas, things that are so current, things that are right now. Send us at our email, thenostalgiatest@gmail.com. Follow us and join the newsletter on our website, thenostalgiatest.com. And, follow us on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test, and in Twitter, The Nostalgia Test. And we're going to be having this conversation. It's going to happen. Let's do it, man.
I'll see you guys later. See you in the future.
Boom. Peace.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time, because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.